Oh my goodness gracious me. Did you see how the boss man just stormed through that door like a tornado with a briefcase? I swear his eyebrows were doing that angry dance again.
Jasper, you're being dramatic as usual. Just finish polishing that vase and stop gossiping about everything.
Dramatic? Me? Never. I'm just observantly enthusiastic about the fascinating lives of rich people. Speaking of which, where's our dear little cleaning lady this morning? Usually she's already scrubbed half the mansion by now.
Isabella called in sick yesterday. Something about not feeling well.
Not feeling well? That girl never gets sick. She's like a cleaning robot that runs on determination and those terrible energy drinks she loves so much.
Keep your voice down. Here comes Mr. Sterling now.
Has anyone seen Isabella this morning? I need to discuss the arrangements for tonight's board meeting with her. Oh, the mysterious case of the missing maid. She's been under the weather, sir. Probably caught something from all that excessive cleaning she does. You know how she scrubs everything like she's trying to erase evidence from crime scene. Under the weather? She seemed perfectly fine 2 days ago when I saw her in the East Wing.
Perhaps you should call her, sir. She lives in that little apartment above the flower shop downtown.
Call her apartment. Ooh, are we conducting a wellness check? Should I prepare the medical supplies? Maybe some chicken soup? Though I suppose rich people soup is probably made with golden chickens or something equally fancy.
Jasper, please focus on your work.
I'm focusing on the mystery of the vanishing cleaning lady. It's like a real-life detective story, except instead of murder weapons, we have mops, and instead of suspects, we have dust bunnies. Did she mention feeling ill to either of you recently?
Not to me, sir. She's always been very professional about keeping her personal matters to herself.
Well, she did look a bit green around the gills last week. I thought maybe she ate something questionable from the kitchen. You know how cooks sometimes experiments with those weird fish recipes that smell like low tide? Green around the gills? Oh yes, very pale, rushing to the bathroom every 20 minutes. I thought maybe she caught one of those stomach bugs that make you feel like you're on a very unpleasant boat ride.
Jasper, that's quite enough detail.
Every 20 minutes? How long has this been going on? About 2 weeks now. Poor thing keeps clutching her stomach and making these funny faces. Kind of like when you bite into a lemon expecting it to be an orange, you know? 2 weeks of morning sickness symptoms.
Morning sickness? Sir, are you suggesting that Isabella might be?
Get the car ready. We're going to her apartment. Ooh, a field trip. Should I pack snacks? Maybe some crackers for the potentially queasy cleaning lady? I hear crackers are very helpful for delicate stomachs.
Sir, perhaps it would be better if I went alone. A woman's presence might be more appropriate if Isabella is indeed unwell.
No, I'm going myself. This is getting very exciting. Like a soap opera. Next thing you know, we'll discover she's actually a long-lost heiress or something equally dramatic. Though being pregnant would be pretty dramatic too, I suppose. Jasper, you're staying here. Penelope, come with me. But I want to see how this mystery unfolds. What if she faints? What if she needs smelling salts? I'm excellent at dramatic revival techniques.
We'll manage without your dramatic revival techniques, Jasper.
If anyone asks where we've gone, tell them it's a private matter. A private matter involving our mysteriously absent, possibly pregnant cleaning lady. This is better than those romance novels Cook reads in the kitchen.
Who's knocking at this hour? I specifically told everyone I needed rest. Isabella, it's Penelope from the mansion. Mr. Sterling is here to see you. Mr. Sterling? Why would he come here? I already called in sick. I don't understand what more there is to discuss.
Open the door, Isabella. We need to talk.
I really don't think this is appropriate, sir. I'm not feeling well, and this is my private residence. Please, Isabella. He's very concerned about your welfare. Concerned about my welfare? Since when does the CEO of Sterling Enterprises care about the health of his cleaning staff?
Since I realized you might be carrying my child.
What did you just say? I think I misheard you, because that sounded completely insane. Isabella, please open the door so we can discuss this properly. There's nothing to discuss. I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't appreciate these accusations.
The night of the charity gala, Isabella. 3 weeks ago. The library. You remember exactly what I'm talking about.
That was a mistake. A terrible, horrible mistake that should never have happened. We both agreed to forget it completely. Isabella, are you pregnant? That's none of your business. That's not anyone's business but my own.
If you're carrying my child, it becomes my business immediately.
Your business? Your business? You think because you're rich and powerful, that gives you the right to control every aspect of my life? Please, both of you, let's remain calm and civilized about this situation. Civilized? There's nothing civilized about showing up at my home and demanding answers to personal questions.
Answer the question, Isabella. Are you pregnant with my child?
Fine. Yes. Yes, I'm pregnant. Are you happy now? Is that what you wanted to hear? Oh, my goodness. This complicates things significantly.
Pack your things. You're coming back to the mansion with me right now.
I'm not going anywhere with you. I'm not some possession you can just collect when it's convenient for you.
You're pregnant with the heir to Sterling Enterprises. You think I'm going to let you stay in this tiny apartment above a flower shop?
Let me? I don't need your permission to live my life. I was managing perfectly fine before this happened. Perhaps we should all take a moment to think this through rationally. Rationally? There's nothing rational about any of this. 3 weeks ago, he was my employer, and I was just the cleaning lady. Now, suddenly I'm supposed to move into his mansion, like some kind of kept woman?
You're not a kept woman. You're the mother of my child.
Your child? We don't even know each other. That night was a complete accident caused by too much champagne and terrible judgment.
Accident or not, the consequences are very real.
Isabella, surely you understand that Mr. Sterling has certain responsibilities now. His responsibilities are his problem. My responsibility is to take care of myself and my baby.
Our baby.
Don't you dare start with that possessive language. This baby is inside my body. I'm the one dealing with the morning sickness and the exhaustion and the complete upheaval of my entire life.
Which is exactly why you need proper care. Medical attention, nutritious food, a safe environment.
I can provide all of those things for myself. I don't need your charity or your guilt money. Isabella, be reasonable. The resources available at the mansion would be beneficial for both you and the baby. Beneficial for the baby, maybe. But what about what's beneficial for me? What about my independence? My dignity?
Your dignity won't be compromised. I'm offering you a comfortable place to stay during your pregnancy.
Offering? Or demanding? Because this doesn't feel like I have much choice in the matter.
You always have a choice, but I strongly advise you to consider what's best for the child.
What's best for the child is having a mother who isn't treated like a broodmare by its father. Please, both of you, this arguing isn't helping anyone. I need time to think about this. This is all happening too fast, and I can't make major life decisions while you're standing in my hallway being intimidating.
How much time do you need?
I don't know. More than 5 minutes. This is the most important decision I'll ever make.
You have until tonight. Pack your essential belongings. I'll send a car for you at 8 o'clock.
And if I refuse, what then? Are you going to drag me out of here against my will?
I hope it won't come to that.
That's not an answer. That's a threat disguised as diplomacy. Isabella, no one wants to force you into anything. We're all trying to find the best solution for everyone involved. The best solution would be for everyone to leave me alone to figure this out in peace.
Peace is a luxury you can't afford right now. You need medical care, proper nutrition, and a stable environment.
I can get medical care from a clinic. I can buy proper nutrition from a grocery store. I can create a stable environment in my own home.
With what money? On a cleaning lady's salary?
Now we're getting to the truth. This isn't about what's best for me or the baby. This is about your money and your control. That's not fair, Isabella. Mr. Sterling is genuinely concerned about your well-being. His concern feels an awful lot like ownership to me.
I'm trying to do the right thing here, Isabella.
The right thing would have been to use better judgment 3 weeks ago.
We can't change what happened. We can only deal with the consequences responsibly.
Responsibly? You think taking over my life is responsible?
I think making sure my child has every advantage is responsible.
Your child again. What about what I want for my child? What do you want for your child, Isabella? I want my child to know that its mother wasn't weak, that she didn't just roll over and accept whatever some powerful man decided was best for her.
Strength sometimes means accepting help when it's offered.
Help. This feels more like a hostile takeover.
8 o'clock, Isabella. The car will be here whether you're ready or not.
And if I'm not here, what if I decide to leave town instead?
I wouldn't recommend that course of action.
Another threat. You're really proving what a caring, supportive partner you'd be. Isabella, please consider this carefully. Think about what opportunities this could provide for your child. I am thinking about my child. I'm thinking about what kind of world I want to bring it into. A world where its father respects its mother, or a world where its father treats its mother like property.
I have never treated you like property.
Then what do you call showing up at my home and demanding that I move into your mansion?
I call it taking responsibility for my actions.
Your responsibility doesn't give you the right to make decisions for me. Perhaps there's a middle ground here. Some arrangement that would work for everyone. What kind of middle ground? He wants total control, and I want to maintain some shred of independence.
I want to ensure that my child has the best possible start in life.
And you've decided that the best possible start involves its mother being completely dependent on its father?
I've decided that the best possible start involves proper prenatal care and a stress-free environment.
Stress-free? Moving into the home of a man I barely know who's trying to control my life? How is that stress-free? Isabella, you know Mr. Sterling better than you think. You've worked in his home for 2 years. I've cleaned his home for 2 years. That doesn't mean I know him as a person. That doesn't mean I trust him with my future.
Trust has to start somewhere.
Trust usually starts with respect, and respect means giving someone the freedom to make their own choices.
Even when those choices might be harmful.
Who says my choices would be harmful? You're assuming I'm incapable of taking care of myself. No one is questioning your capabilities, Isabella. Aren't you? The assumption seems to be that I can't handle this situation without being rescued by the wealthy father.
The assumption is that together we can provide better for this child than either of us could separately.
Together? This isn't together. This is you making demands and expecting me to comply.
What would you prefer? How would you like this to work?
I would prefer to be treated like an equal partner in this situation instead of like some unfortunate circumstance you need to manage.
You want to be treated as an equal? Fine. Then we'll discuss this like equals. What are your terms?
My terms? I want to maintain my own living space. I want to continue working. I want to make my own decisions about medical care. I want respect for my autonomy. Those seem like reasonable requests.
Some of those terms are non-negotiable. You can't continue cleaning houses while pregnant. That's too physically demanding and potentially dangerous.
See? Already you're rejecting my terms and imposing your own conditions.
I'm looking out for the safety of you and the baby.
I'm perfectly capable of determining what's safe for me and my baby.
Are you? Do you have medical training? Do you know what activities pose risks during pregnancy?
I'm not stupid. I can research these things. I can consult with professionals. Of course you're not stupid, Isabella. But having access to the best medical care from the beginning would be beneficial. The best medical care that he controls and pays for, making me beholden to him for everything?
Making sure you have access to resources that will keep you healthy.
Resources that come with strings attached. Resources that give you power over my decisions.
The only power I want is the power to ensure my child's well-being.
Our child's well-being includes having a mother who isn't treated like a helpless invalid.
No one is treating you like an invalid. I'm treating you like someone who matters to me.
I matter to you? Since when? 3 weeks ago, I was invisible. You barely acknowledged my existence. Perhaps that night in the library changed things for both of you. That night in the library was a mistake. A moment of weakness that shouldn't have happened.
A moment of weakness that created something meaningful.
Meaningful? You think this pregnancy is meaningful? This isn't some romantic fairy tale. This is a disaster that's going to ruin both our lives.
This doesn't have to ruin anything. This could be the beginning of something better.
Better for who? Better for you, because now you have an heir? Better for your family legacy?
Better for both of us. Better for the child.
You keep saying that, but I don't see how losing my independence makes anything better for me. Independence doesn't have to mean isolation, Isabella. Doesn't it? If I accept his help, if I move into his mansion, if I become financially dependent on him, how is that not giving up my independence?
It's accepting support during a time when you need it.
According to you, I need it. According to me, I need to maintain some control over my own life.
Control is less important than safety.
Safety from what? I'm pregnant, not dying. Women have been having babies for thousands of years without needing to be locked away in mansions.
Locked away? Is that really how you see this?
How else should I see it? You're demanding that I move into your home under your supervision, dependent on your generosity. It doesn't have to feel like captivity, Isabella. Doesn't it? When someone else controls where you live, how you spend your time, who you interact with, what is that if not captivity?
I'm not trying to control who you interact with.
Aren't you? If I'm living in your mansion, surrounded by your staff, dependent on your approval for everything, how much freedom do I really have?
You'd have the freedom to focus on your health and the baby's development without worrying about financial stress.
Financial stress keeps people motivated. Financial independence keeps people free.
Financial independence is a luxury you can't afford right now.
There you go again. Deciding what I can and cannot afford. Deciding what's best for me without consulting me. Isabella, surely you can see that Mr. Sterling is trying to be helpful. Helpful or controlling? There's a fine line between the two, and he seems determined to cross it.
I'm determined to make sure this child has every advantage.
Every advantage except a mother who feels like she has any say in her own life.
Your say matters. That's why we're having this conversation.
This isn't a conversation. This is you informing me of your decisions and expecting me to agree with them.
Then what do you suggest? How do we handle this situation in a way that makes you feel heard?
I suggest you go back to your mansion and give me time to think without pressure or ultimatums.
How much time do you need?
More than you're willing to give me, apparently. What if we arranged for regular check-ins? Ways for you to maintain some independence while ensuring you have support? Support with strings attached is not support. It's manipulation disguised as generosity.
What kind of support would you accept?
I don't know. I haven't had time to figure it out because you showed up here making demands before I'd even processed being pregnant.
How long have you known?
I confirmed it yesterday. Yesterday. I've had less than 24 hours to adjust to this reality, and you're already trying to reorganize my entire life. That does seem quite overwhelming when you put it that way.
I apologize for the timing, but the situation is what it is.
The situation is what you make it. You could choose to be patient and supportive instead of demanding and controlling.
I'm trying to be supportive. I'm offering you everything you could possibly need.
Everything except respect for my autonomy and time to make my own decisions.
Time is not a luxury we have in abundance.
Why not? This pregnancy will last 9 months. Why does everything have to be decided right now?
Because the longer we wait to establish proper care, the greater the risks become.
Risks? What risks? I'm healthy. The baby appears to be developing normally. What risks are you so worried about? He's worried about you, Isabella. About your well-being. My well-being was fine before he decided to take charge of it.
Your well-being became my responsibility the moment you became pregnant with my child.
Your responsibility? I didn't ask for you to take responsibility for me. I can take responsibility for myself.
Can you? Can you afford the best prenatal care? Can you afford to take time off work when the pregnancy becomes more demanding?
I'll figure it out. People manage these things all the time without having rich men swoop in to rescue them.
Not everyone has the option of being rescued by a rich man.
Rescued? Is that what you think this is? A rescue? From what exactly am I being rescued?
From uncertainty, from financial stress, from having to manage this alone.
Maybe I want to manage this alone. Maybe I want to prove to myself that I'm capable of handling my own problems. There's nothing wrong with accepting help when it's offered, Isabella. There's something wrong with help that comes with conditions and expectations.
What expectations? What conditions?
The condition that I move into your home. The expectation that I'll be grateful and compliant. The assumption that I'll just go along with whatever you decide.
I expect gratitude for genuine generosity, yes.
Genuine generosity doesn't come with strings attached.
Everything comes with strings attached, Isabella. That's how the real world works.
The real world also includes personal freedom and the right to make your own choices.
Personal freedom is less important than the welfare of my child.
Our child. And the welfare of our child includes having a mother who feels respected and valued. Both of your concerns are valid. Perhaps there's a compromise that addresses everyone's needs. What kind of compromise? He wants complete control, and I want basic human dignity.
I want to ensure the best possible outcome for everyone involved.
The best possible outcome for you, maybe. What about the best possible outcome for me?
What would the best possible outcome look like for you?
The best possible outcome would be raising this child in an environment of mutual respect and shared decision-making.
That sounds reasonable.
Does it? Because everything you've said so far suggests you have no intention of sharing decision-making with me.
I'm willing to consider your input on major decisions.
Consider my input? I don't want my input considered. I want my input respected. I want equal say in decisions that affect my life and my child. Equal say seems fair, given that you're both parents.
Equal say requires equal responsibility.
What does that mean exactly?
It means if you want equal decision-making power, you need to accept equal responsibility for the consequences.
I'm already accepting responsibility. I'm the one whose body is changing. I'm the one who'll go through labor. I'm the one who'll be primarily responsible for childcare.
And I'll be primarily responsible for financial support.
Financial support that you'll use to control every other aspect of this situation.
Financial support that will provide security and opportunities.
Security and opportunities that come at the cost of my independence. Independence and security don't have to be mutually exclusive. Don't they? If I become financially dependent on him, how independent am I really?
You'd be free to pursue other interests, develop new skills, focus on things that matter to you.
Things that matter to me include making my own decisions and supporting myself.
Supporting yourself is admirable, but it's not practical in your current situation.
My current situation is only impractical if I accept your definition of what's practical.
Reality defines what's practical, not personal preferences.
Reality includes the fact that I have skills, intelligence, and determination. Reality includes the possibility that I can handle this without surrendering my autonomy.
Autonomy is less important than the child's well-being.
The child's well-being includes having a strong, independent mother as a role model. Both perspectives have merit. Perhaps we could explore options that honor both concerns. What options? He's made it clear that his way is the only acceptable way.
I made it clear that I won't compromise on the child's safety and welfare.
And I've made it clear that I won't compromise on my basic human dignity.
Living in my mansion compromises your dignity?
Living under your control compromises my dignity. Being treated like a broodmare compromises my dignity. Having my choices dismissed compromises my dignity.
I have never treated you like a broodmare.
Haven't you? You've reduced me to my reproductive function. You've decided my value lies in carrying your child. I don't think that's what Mr. Sterling intended to communicate.
Of course, that's not what I intended. Your value extends far beyond this pregnancy.
Then why are you only interested in controlling my life now that I'm pregnant? Where was this concern for my well-being when I was just your cleaning lady?
That night in the library changed everything.
That night was a mistake. It doesn't give you ownership rights over my future.
It gave me parental rights over my child.
Parental rights don't include controlling the other parent.
They include ensuring the child's needs are met.
The child's needs include having a mother who feels respected and empowered.
The child's needs include having parents who can work together effectively.
Working together requires mutual respect. It requires treating each other as equals.
Equals with different strengths and resources.
Resources that you're using as leverage to get your way. Perhaps if we focused on specific arrangements rather than general principles, we might find common ground. What specific arrangements? He wants me to move into his mansion and surrender control of my life.
I want you to accept support during your pregnancy so you and the baby stay healthy.
Support that comes with complete loss of independence.
Independence that could jeopardize your health and the baby's development.
You keep assuming I'm incapable of taking care of myself. You keep assuming that accepting your help is the only way to ensure a healthy pregnancy.
I'm assuming that my resources can provide better care than you can afford on your own.
Better care, maybe, but at what cost? What good is the best medical care in the world if I feel like a prisoner in my own life? Surely there are ways to provide excellent care without making you feel imprisoned. Are there? If he controls where I live, how I spend my time, who I interact with, what decisions I make, how is that not imprisonment?
I don't intend to control who you interact with or how you spend your time.
But you do intend to control where I live and what major decisions I make.
I intend to ensure that where you live is safe and that major decisions prioritize the child's welfare.
According to your definition of safety and welfare.
According to medical standards and common sense.
Common sense includes respecting someone's autonomy. Medical standards don't require surrendering personal freedom.
Personal freedom that could result in inadequate care.
Inadequate according to who? I haven't even had a chance to research my options or make my own plans. What kind of plans were you considering, Isabella?
I don't know yet.
I only found out yesterday. I was planning to take some time to research prenatal care options, financial assistance programs, maybe talk to other single mothers.
Single mothers? You're not going to be a single mother.
Aren't I? If you control everything about this pregnancy and this child, what kind of partner are you really?
The kind of partner who takes responsibility for his actions and their consequences.
Responsibility shouldn't look like dictatorship.
Effective leadership sometimes requires making difficult decisions.
Leadership? I'm not your employee in this situation. I'm supposed to be your equal partner.
Equal partners work together toward common goals.
What are our common goals? Because it seems like your goal is control and my goal is independence. Perhaps the common goal is ensuring the best possible outcome for the child. The best possible outcome includes having parents who respect each other.
I do respect you, Isabella.
No, you don't. If you respected me, you give me time to process this situation and make my own informed decisions.
How much time do you need to decide whether you want the best possible care for yourself and your baby?
I need time to research what the best possible care actually looks like. I need time to understand my options. I need time to figure out how to maintain some control over my own life.
While you're researching and figuring things out, you'll be living in my mansion where I can ensure you're taking care of yourself properly.
There it is again. You deciding what's best for me without consulting me.
I'm consulting you now.
No, you're informing me of your decisions and asking me to agree with them. What if there were a trial period? A temporary arrangement that could be evaluated and adjusted? A trial period for what? For me to prove that I'm worthy of basic human respect?
A trial period to see if we can work together effectively as parents.
Working together effectively requires starting from a place of mutual respect, not from a place where one person dictates terms to the other.
These aren't dictated terms. These are reasonable provisions for your care and safety.
Reasonable according to who? You haven't asked me what I think is reasonable.
What do you think is reasonable?
I think it's reasonable for me to have some time to adjust to being pregnant before making major life decisions. I think it's reasonable for me to research my options and make informed choices. I think it's reasonable for me to maintain some control over my own life.
How much time do you need?
I don't know. More than you're willing to give me.
I'm willing to give you until tonight to pack your essentials.
That's not time to think. That's barely time to do laundry. What if we extended the timeline slightly? Perhaps a few days for Isabella to consider her options? A few days to consider options that have already been decided for me?
The options haven't been decided. The need for proper care has been established.
By you, unilaterally, without any input from me about what I think constitutes proper care.
What do you think constitutes proper care?
I think proper care includes emotional support. I think it includes feeling respected and valued. I think it includes having some say in the decisions that affect my life.
Those things can be provided in my mansion just as easily as they can be provided anywhere else.
Can they?
If I'm living in your house, under your rules, dependent on your generosity, how much emotional support do I really have? Surely Mr. Sterling would ensure that you feel comfortable and supported. Comfortable and supported according to his definition. What if his definition of support feels like suffocation to me?
We'll work together to find arrangements that feel supportive rather than suffocating.
Work together?
When?
After I've already given up my independence and moved into your mansion?
Work together starting now. Tell me what arrangements would make you feel more comfortable with this situation.
I've already told you.
Time to think.
Time to research. Time to make my own informed decisions.
You can do all of those things from the mansion.
Under your supervision. With your approval. Subject to your veto power.
Subject to reasonable safety considerations.
Reasonable according to who? You keep using that word as if your judgment is the only one that matters.
My judgment matters because I have experience with complex situations and access to the best resources.
My judgment matters because this is my body and my life. Because I'm the one who is to live with the consequences of these decisions. Both of your judgments matter. Perhaps the key is finding ways to combine your perspectives effectively. How do you combine perspectives when one person has all the power and the other person has none?
You have power, Isabella. You have the power to choose how to respond to this situation.
Do I? Because it sounds like my choices are to comply with your demands or face unspecified consequences.
The consequences of not taking proper care of yourself and the baby are quite specified.
Proper care according to your standards. What if I have different standards? What if I have different priorities?
What are your priorities?
My priorities include feeling like a human being rather than an incubator. My priorities include maintaining some dignity and self-respect. My priorities include being treated as an equal partner in this situation.
Those are all achievable goals.
Are they?
Because everything you've proposed so far undermines every one of those priorities.
How does ensuring your health and safety undermine your dignity?
It's not the health and safety part. It's the way you're going about it. It's the assumption that you know what's best for me better than I do.
I know what resources are available and what standards of care are achievable.
And I know what feels respectful and what feels controlling. I know what makes me feel valued and what makes me feel like property. Both perspectives are important for creating a successful arrangement. Successful for who? Successful for him, because he gets to control the situation. Successful for the baby, because it has access to the best resources. What about successful for me?
What would success look like for you?
Success would look like being treated as an intelligent, capable adult who can participate meaningfully in decisions that affect her life.
You are an intelligent, capable adult.
Then why aren't you treating me like one? Why are you making unilateral decisions about my future?
Because some decisions are too important to leave to chance.
Whose chance? My chance? You think I'm going to make bad decisions because I don't have enough money or education or social status.
I think you might make decisions based on pride rather than practical considerations.
Pride? You think wanting to maintain my dignity is just pride? I don't think that's what Mr. Sterling meant.
I think you might refuse help that would benefit you and the baby because you don't want to feel dependent.
You're right. I don't want to feel dependent. I don't want to give up my independence for the illusion of security.
It's not an illusion. The security I'm offering is very real.
Security that comes at the cost of everything I value about myself.
What do you value about yourself?
I value my independence. I value my ability to make my own decisions. I value my self-respect and my dignity.
None of those things have to be sacrificed.
Don't they? If I become completely dependent on you financially, if I live in your house under your rules, if I accept your judgment over my own, how do I maintain any of those values?
You maintain them by recognizing that accepting help when you need it is a sign of wisdom, not weakness.
Help and control are not the same thing.
Control and care are not mutually exclusive.
Aren't they? When someone cares about you, they respect your autonomy. They support your decisions even when they disagree with them. Perhaps there are ways to provide care while still respecting autonomy. Are there? Because everything he's proposed so far involves me surrendering my autonomy in exchange for his care.
I'm not asking you to surrender your autonomy. I'm asking you to accept support during a vulnerable time.
Support that comes with conditions and expectations. Support that requires me to live according to your standards and priorities.
Standards and priorities that prioritize your health and the baby's welfare.
According to your definition of health and welfare, what if I have different definitions? What if I have different priorities?
What are your definitions? What are your priorities?
My definition of health includes mental and emotional well-being. My definition of welfare includes feeling respected and valued. My priorities include maintaining some control over my own life.
All of those things are compatible with living in my mansion and accepting proper medical care.
Are they? Because proper medical care often includes stress reduction. And nothing about this situation is reducing my stress levels. That's a very good point, Isabella.
The stress you're feeling now is temporary. Once arrangements are settled, your stress levels will decrease significantly.
Will they?
Or will I just trade the stress of uncertainty for the stress of feeling trapped and controlled?
You won't be trapped or controlled. You'll be supported and protected.
Protected from what? From making my own decisions? From living my own life? From being an independent adult?
Protected from unnecessary risks and hardships.
Unnecessary according to who? What if I think some of those risks and hardships are worth it for the sake of maintaining my independence?
What if you're wrong? What if your independence costs the baby its health or its life?
What if your control costs me my sense of self? What if your protection costs me my dignity and self-respect? Both concerns are valid and important.
The baby's physical health is more important than anyone's emotional comfort.
The baby's emotional health is affected by its mother's emotional well-being. If I'm miserable and feel trapped, how do you think that affects the baby?
If you're healthy and well cared for, your emotional well-being will improve.
Will it? Or will it deteriorate as I lose more and more control over my own life?
You're being dramatic.
I'm being honest. I'm telling you how this situation feels to me, and you're dismissing my feelings as drama.
Your feelings matter, but they can't be the only consideration.
Why not? Whose feelings matter more than mine in decisions about my own life?
The baby's welfare matters more than anyone's feelings.
The baby's welfare includes having a mother who feels respected and empowered. The baby's welfare includes growing up in an environment of mutual respect and shared decision-making. Both of you want what's best for the baby. Perhaps that's the starting point for finding common ground.
Is it?
Because it seems like he thinks what's best for the baby is having complete control over its mother.
What's best for the baby is having parents who can work together effectively.
Working together effectively requires treating each other as equals. It requires respecting each other's perspectives and decisions.
It requires putting the baby's needs first.
The baby's needs include having a healthy, happy, respected mother.
The baby's needs include having a healthy mother who receives proper medical care.
Proper medical care doesn't require giving up personal autonomy.
It requires making responsible decisions about health and safety.
Responsible according to who? You keep acting like you're the sole authority on what constitutes responsible decision-making.
I'm acting like someone who has access to resources and information that can ensure the best possible outcomes.
The best possible outcomes include outcomes that respect my humanity and dignity.
Your humanity and dignity are not threatened by accepting appropriate care.
Appropriate care doesn't involve losing control over major life decisions. What if we could design a care plan that provides excellent medical attention while preserving your sense of autonomy? What would that look like? Because everything he's suggested so far involves me surrendering control in exchange for his resources.
What specific aspects of control are most important to you?
Control over where I live. Control over how I spend my time. Control over major decisions about my health care and my future.
Some of those things are negotiable. Others are not.
Which ones are negotiable? And who decided which ones are non-negotiable?
Your safety and the baby's safety are non-negotiable.
Define safety. Because I think living under someone else's control is emotionally and psychologically unsafe.
Living in a secure environment with access to the best medical care is physically safe.
Physical safety isn't the only kind of safety that matters. Emotional safety matters too. Psychological safety matters too. Both types of safety are important for a healthy pregnancy.
Emotional and psychological safety can be provided in my mansion just as well as they can be provided anywhere else.
Can they?
If I feel controlled and trapped, how safe do I really feel?
Those feelings are based on misconceptions about what life in a mansion would actually be like.
Are they? Or are they based on accurate assessments of what it means to be financially dependent on someone who's already demonstrated a tendency toward control?
I haven't demonstrated a tendency toward control. I've demonstrated concern for your welfare.
Concern that expresses itself through demands and ultimatums. Concern that doesn't include asking what I want or need.
I'm asking now. What do you want? What do you need?
I want time to process this situation without pressure. I need to research my options and make informed decisions. I want to be treated as an equal partner in this pregnancy.
How much time do you need to process?
I don't know. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened to me. How can I put a timeline on processing something this enormous?
Because pregnancy itself has a timeline. Because proper prenatal care needs to begin as soon as possible.
Proper prenatal care can begin with me making an appointment with a clinic. It doesn't require me moving into your mansion immediately. That's true. Prenatal care can be established in various settings.
But not all prenatal care is equal. The quality of care available to you through my resources is significantly superior to what you could access on your own.
Superior according to what standards? And at what cost to my emotional well-being?
Superior according to medical standards. The cost to your emotional well-being is temporary and manageable.
Temporary? How long exactly do you expect me to live in your mansion? Until the baby is born? Until the baby is grown? Forever?
Until we determine the best long-term arrangements for everyone involved.
We or you? Because so far you seem to be the one determining everything.
We, provided you're willing to engage in good faith discussions about practical solutions.
Good faith discussions require good faith listening. They require taking my concerns seriously instead of dismissing them as emotional or dramatic.
Your concerns are valid, but they need to be balanced against practical realities.
Practical realities according to your worldview. What about practical realities according to my values and priorities?
What practical realities would you like me to consider?
The practical reality that I need to maintain some sense of self-respect and dignity. The practical reality that feeling controlled and trapped is bad for my mental health. Those are very practical considerations that could affect both Isabella and the baby.
Those feelings can be addressed through open communication and mutual respect.
Mutual respect starts with not making unilateral decisions about someone else's life.
What decisions would you like to participate in making?
All of them. Every decision that affects my life and my body and my future. I want to be an equal partner in every aspect of this situation.
Equal partners sometimes have to defer to each other's areas of expertise.
What's your area of expertise? Money? Resources? What's my area of expertise? My own body? My own feelings? My own values and priorities?
Your area of expertise includes those things, yes.
Then why aren't you deferring to my expertise about what makes me feel respected and supported?
Because your feelings about respect and support need to be balanced against objective measures of safety and care quality.
Objective according to who? Your measures? Your standards? Your priorities?
Objective according to medical professionals and established best practices.
Medical professionals who will be paid by you? Best practices established by people who share your socioeconomic status and worldview? That's an interesting perspective, Isabella.
Medical standards are based on scientific evidence, not socioeconomic status.
Scientific evidence interpreted by people with particular biases and assumptions. People who might not understand or value the same things I do.
What do you value that you think medical professionals wouldn't understand?
Independence, autonomy, the importance of feeling like I have some control over my own life.
Those are psychological considerations that good medical professionals absolutely understand and value.
Do they?
Or do they prioritize compliance and following their recommendations over patient autonomy and self-determination?
Good medical professionals balance patient autonomy with clinical recommendations.
Clinical recommendations that will be influenced by whoever is paying the bills.
That's a cynical view of medical ethics.
It's a realistic view of how power dynamics work in healthcare. Perhaps we could find healthcare providers who are specifically committed to patient autonomy and shared decision-making. How do we find those providers? How do we ensure that my voice is heard equally with his, when he's the one paying for everything?
Your voice matters because you're the patient. Medical ethics require that your preferences be respected.
Medical ethics also often defer to family members who are paying for care, especially when those family members are wealthy and influential.
I would never interfere with your medical decision-making.
Wouldn't you?
What if I made a decision you disagreed with? What if I chose a different course of treatment than what you thought was best?
I would express my concerns and try to understand your reasoning.
And if I still disagreed with you after hearing your concerns?
We would work together to find a compromise that addresses both of our concerns.
What if no compromise was possible? What if we fundamentally disagreed about what was best?
That's a hypothetical situation. We don't know how we would handle disagreements until they arise.
It's not hypothetical at all. We're having a fundamental disagreement right now. You think what's best is for me to move into your mansion immediately, and I think what's best is for me to maintain some independence and take time to make informed decisions.
And we're working through that disagreement now.
Are we? Because it seems like you're trying to convince me to accept your position rather than genuinely considering mine. What would genuine consideration of your position look like, Isabella? It would look like him acknowledging that my need for independence and autonomy is valid and important. It would look like him making space for me to research my options and make my own decisions.
How much space do you need? How long should I wait while you research options and make decisions?
However long it takes for me to feel confident that I'm making the right choice for me and my baby.
And what if you never feel confident? What if you keep researching indefinitely because you're afraid to commit to any particular course of action?
Then that's my choice to make. If I want to be indecisive and keep researching, that's my right as an autonomous adult.
Even if your indecisiveness potentially harms the baby?
How does my taking time to make informed decisions harm the baby?
Time spent without proper prenatal care is time when potential problems could develop undetected.
I can get prenatal care while I'm making decisions about other aspects of my life. Prenatal care doesn't require me to live in your mansion.
But the quality of care available to you on your own is limited compared to what I can provide.
Limited according to your standards. What if the quality of care I can access on my own is perfectly adequate for my needs?
Adequate isn't good enough when we're talking about my child's health and development.
Our child, and adequate according to medical standards, is exactly good enough. Not everyone needs the most expensive care available. Both levels of care could potentially result in healthy outcomes.
But why settle for adequate when excellent care is available?
Because excellent care that comes with unacceptable strings attached isn't actually excellent for everyone involved.
What strings are unacceptable to you?
The string that requires me to live under your control. The string that requires me to surrender my independence. The string that makes me financially dependent on your approval.
Those aren't strings. Those are reasonable conditions for ensuring your safety and well-being.
Reasonable according to you. According to me, they're unacceptable violations of my autonomy.
Your autonomy is less important than the baby's welfare.
The baby's welfare includes having a mother who feels respected and empowered. The baby's welfare includes growing up in an environment where both parents are treated as equals.
Equality doesn't mean identical roles and responsibilities.
It means equal voice in decisions, equal respect for perspectives and priorities, equal consideration of needs and concerns.
All of which can be provided in my mansion just as well as they can be provided anywhere else.
No, they can't, because in your mansion, you have all the power. You control the environment, you pay all the bills, you make all the rules. Power imbalances can be addressed through clear agreements and mutual respect.
Can they?
How do you create mutual respect when one person controls all the resources?
Mutual respect comes from recognizing each other's contributions and valuing each other's perspectives.
What contributions do you value from me? What perspectives of mine have you shown any interest in considering?
I value your perspective as the mother of my child. I value your insights about what you need to feel comfortable and supported.
Then why haven't you asked me what I need to feel comfortable and supported? Why have you just told me what you've decided I need?
I'm asking you now, what do you need to feel comfortable and supported?
I need time to process this situation. I need space to make my own decisions. I need to maintain some control over my own life. I need to feel like an equal partner rather than someone who's being managed.
How can I provide those things while also ensuring that you and the baby receive proper care?
You can start by giving me time to research my options without pressure or ultimatums.
How much time?
I don't know. As much time as I need to feel confident in my decisions.
That's not a specific timeline. I need to know when we can expect to move forward with concrete plans.
Why?
What's the rush? The baby isn't going anywhere for 9 months.
The rush is that prenatal care is most effective when it begins early. The rush is that establishing a stable living situation reduces stress and promotes healthy development.
Stable according to your definition. My current living situation is stable for me.
Your current living situation doesn't provide adequate space or resources for raising a child.
Adequate according to who? Millions of people raise children in small apartments. Millions of people manage to provide loving, nurturing homes without mansions and unlimited resources. That's certainly true, Isabella.
But why settle for adequate when better options are available?
Because better is subjective. Because what looks better to you might feel like a prison to me.
Living in luxury feels like a prison?
Living without control over my own life feels like a prison. Living under someone else's rules and expectations feels like a prison.
What rules and expectations are you concerned about?
I'm concerned about all of them. I'm concerned about having to live according to your schedule, your standards, your priorities.
My schedule, standards, and priorities all revolve around ensuring the best possible outcomes for everyone involved.
Everyone according to your definition. What about my definition of what's best for me?
What's your definition?
My definition includes feeling respected, valued, and treated as an equal. My definition includes maintaining some control over my own life.
Those things are all possible.
Are they? Because nothing you've proposed so far makes me feel respected or valued or equal. What would make you feel those things, Isabella? Being asked what I want instead of being told what I need. Being given time to make my own decisions instead of being pressured to accept someone else's. Being treated like my opinions and preferences matter.
Your opinions and preferences do matter.
Then why do you keep dismissing them? Why do you keep trying to convince me that your way is the only acceptable way?
I'm not dismissing them. I'm trying to balance them against practical realities and the baby's needs.
Practical realities according to your worldview. The baby's needs according to your priorities.
The baby's needs according to medical science and common sense.
Medical science doesn't dictate that babies need mansions and unlimited resources. A common sense doesn't require mothers to surrender their autonomy.
Medical science supports the value of reducing stress and ensuring proper nutrition and health care. Common sense supports accepting help when it's available.
Help that respects my dignity and autonomy. Not help that requires me to surrender everything I value about myself.
You wouldn't be surrendering anything. You'd be gaining security and support.
At the cost of my independence and self-respect.
Those costs are temporary and outweighed by the benefits.
Says who? You? You get to decide what costs are acceptable for me to pay?
I get to decide what risks I'm willing to accept for my child.
Our child. And I get to decide what risks I'm willing to accept for myself. Both perspectives are valid. Perhaps the challenge is finding solutions that address both sets of concerns. How do you find solutions when one person has all the power and the other person has none?
You have power, Isabella. You have the power to influence how this situation unfolds.
Do I? Because every time I express a preference that differs from yours, you dismiss it as impractical or dangerous.
I don't dismiss your preferences. I evaluate them in context of broader considerations.
Broader considerations that somehow always support your position and contradict mine.
That's not intentional. That's just how the facts align in this particular situation.
Facts according to your interpretation, according to your priorities and assumptions.
Facts according to objective reality.
There's no such thing as objective reality when it comes to personal values and priorities. There's no objective answer to the question of whether independence or security is more important.
There are objective measures of safety and health.
And there are subjective measures of dignity and self-respect. Both matter.
Both do matter, but when they conflict, safety and health have to take priority.
Says who? According to what authority? You're not my doctor. You're not my counselor. You're not my guardian. You're just the father of my baby.
Just a father? I'm an equal partner in this pregnancy.
Then start acting like an equal partner. Start treating me like an equal partner. Stop making unilateral decisions and start including me in the decision-making process.
What decisions do you want to be included in?
All of them. Every decision that affects me, my body, my life, and my future.
Some decisions require expertise that you don't have.
And some decisions require knowledge about my own needs and values that you don't have.
That's why we need to work together.
Working together means starting from a place of mutual respect. It means acknowledging that both of our perspectives matter.
I do acknowledge that your perspective matters.
No, you acknowledge that my perspective exists. You don't acknowledge that it matters equally to yours.
In some areas, my perspective carries more weight because I have more experience and resources.
And in some areas, my perspective should carry more weight because it's my life and my body. Perhaps we could identify which decisions fall into which categories. How do we identify that when he thinks his resources and experience make his perspective more important in every category?
That's not what I think.
Isn't it? Name one area where you think my perspective should carry more weight than yours.
Decisions about your personal comfort and preferences.
Like the decision about where I want to live? Like the decision about how much independence I want to maintain?
Within reasonable safety parameters, yes.
There it is again. Reasonable according to your standards. Safety parameters defined by your priorities.
Safety parameters defined by medical science and common sense.
Medical science that you interpret through your own biases. Common sense that reflects your own values and assumptions.
Are you suggesting that medical science is biased? That common sense is unreliable?
I'm suggesting that your interpretation of medical science and common sense is influenced by your perspective, just like my interpretation would be influenced by mine.
Which is why we need to rely on objective sources and professional guidance.
Objective sources that you select. Professional guidance that you control through your financial influence.
Professional guidance from qualified experts who prioritize patient welfare above financial considerations.
Even qualified experts can be influenced by who pays their bills. Even patient welfare can be defined differently by different people. These are complex issues that don't have simple solutions. Exactly. Which is why I need time to research and understand my options instead of being pressured to accept someone else's solutions.
How much time do you realistically need to research prenatal care options?
I need time to research more than just prenatal care options. I need to research housing options, financial assistance programs, legal rights, support services.
Legal rights? Are you planning to consult with a lawyer?
Maybe. Maybe I want to understand my rights and options before making decisions that could affect the rest of my life.
What kind of legal rights are you concerned about?
My rights as a mother. My rights to make decisions about my own body and my own life. My rights to maintain some independence even if I accept your support.
You have all of those rights. Accepting support doesn't require you to surrender your legal rights.
Doesn't it? If I become financially dependent on you, if I live in your house under your rules, how much practical power do I really have to exercise my legal rights?
You'd have the same legal rights you have now.
Legal rights without practical power to exercise them aren't worth much.
What practical power are you worried about losing?
The power to leave if I'm unhappy. The power to make different choices if circumstances change. The power to support myself independently.
All of those things would remain available to you.
Would they?
If I give up my apartment, quit my job, and become completely financially dependent on you, how realistic is it for me to leave if things don't work out? That's a very practical concern, Isabella.
We could establish arrangements that protect your ability to maintain independence if you choose to.
What kind of arrangements?
Financial arrangements that ensure you have resources available regardless of our personal relationship.
Resources that you control? Resources that could be withdrawn if I don't comply with your expectations?
Resources that would be legally protected and guaranteed.
Guaranteed by who? By contracts that you draft with lawyers that you hire?
Guaranteed by legal agreements that protect your interests as well as mine.
How do I know that my interests are really protected if I can't afford my own lawyer to review those agreements?
I would ensure that you have independent legal representation.
Independent? Paid for by you? How independent is legal representation that depends on your financial support?
Legal representation is governed by professional ethics that require lawyers to prioritize their clients' interests regardless of who pays their fees.
Professional ethics that can be influenced by the reality of who controls future business and referrals.
You're being paranoid about potential conflicts that may never arise.
I'm being realistic about power dynamics. I'm being honest about how financial dependence affects practical autonomy. Both caution and optimism have their place in this situation. Caution seems more appropriate when someone is asking me to give up everything I value about my life in exchange for promises about how I'll be treated.
I'm not asking you to give up everything you value. I'm asking you to accept support that would improve your quality of life.
Quality of life according to your standards, according to your definition of what constitutes a good life.
Quality of life according to objective measures like health, safety, comfort, and opportunity.
Opportunity to do what? To live according to your expectations? To be grateful for your generosity? To prove that I deserve your continued support?
Opportunity to focus on your health and the baby's development without worrying about financial stress.
What about the opportunity to prove to myself that I can handle my own problems? What about the opportunity to maintain my self-respect and independence?
Those opportunities don't disappear when you accept appropriate support.
Don't they? How do I maintain my self-respect while living as someone else's dependent? How do I preserve my independence while relying on someone else for everything?
Self-respect comes from making wise decisions, not from suffering unnecessarily. Independence doesn't require rejecting all assistance.
Wise according to who? And there's a difference between accepting assistance and surrendering autonomy.
What would assistance without surrendering autonomy look like to you?
It would look like support that doesn't come with conditions. It would look like help that respects my right to make my own decisions.
What kind of support would you find acceptable?
I don't know yet. That's what I need time to figure out. That's what I need space to research and explore.
While you're figuring it out, you and the baby need immediate support and care.
Immediate according to your timeline, according to your sense of urgency. What if I don't feel the same urgency about making these decisions?
Pregnancy has its own timeline regardless of our personal preferences.
Pregnancy has a 9-month timeline. We don't have to make every decision in the first week.
We have to make decisions about immediate care and safety right away.
Immediate care can be established without making long-term commitments about living arrangements. That's a reasonable point, Isabella.
Short-term arrangements would be inefficient and potentially disruptive.
Inefficient for who? Disruptive to what? Your plans? Your preferences for how this situation should be managed?
Disruptive to establishing stable routines and relationships with healthcare providers.
Stable according to your definition. What if I prefer flexibility over stability? What if I want to maintain some options rather than committing to a single approach?
Flexibility is a luxury that pregnancy doesn't always allow.
According to who? Millions of women manage flexible arrangements during pregnancy. Millions of women maintain options and make decisions gradually as circumstances develop.
Not all women have access to the resources and support that are available to you.
Available to me with strings attached. Available to me at the cost of my independence and autonomy.
Available to you because I care about your well-being and want to ensure the best possible outcomes.
Caring about someone means respecting their autonomy. It means supporting their right to make their own decisions even when you disagree with them.
Even when their decisions could be harmful.
Even when you think their decisions could be harmful, because ultimately, every adult has the right to make their own choices about their own life.
Even when those choices affect an innocent child.
Especially then, because children need mothers who feel empowered and respected. Children need to grow up seeing that both parents are treated as equals. Both perspectives reflect genuine care for the child's well-being.
Do they?
because his perspective seems to reflect care for control and management more than care for my well-being or the child's need for a happy, empowered mother.
My perspective reflects care for ensuring the best possible outcomes for everyone involved.
Best possible outcomes according to your definition, according to your values and priorities.
According to evidence-based standards of care and common-sense approaches to complex situations.
Evidence-based standards interpreted through your biases. Common-sense approaches that reflect your assumptions about what matters most.
What matters most is the health and safety of you and the baby.
What matters most is creating an environment where everyone feels respected and valued. What matters most is establishing patterns of mutual respect and shared decision-making.
Those things matter, but they're secondary to basic health and safety considerations.
Says who? According to what authority? You keep making these declarations as if they're objective facts rather than your personal opinions.
According to medical professionals who understand the relationship between stress, health outcomes, and child development.
Medical professionals who understand that maternal stress and feelings of powerlessness can negatively affect pregnancy outcomes.
Which is why I want to eliminate sources of stress by providing comprehensive support and care.
You're not eliminating sources of stress. You're creating different sources of stress. You're replacing financial stress with emotional stress about losing my autonomy. Both types of stress could potentially affect the pregnancy.
Emotional stress about autonomy is manageable. Financial stress about basic needs is not.
Manageable according to who? According to you? You're not the one experiencing it.
Manageable according to the reality that your basic needs would be met and your safety would be ensured.
My need for respect and autonomy are basic needs too. My need to feel valued and empowered are basic needs too.
Those needs can be met within the context of appropriate care and support.
Appropriate according to your standards. Within contexts that you control and define.
Within contexts that prioritize the welfare of everyone involved.
Everyone's welfare according to your interpretation. According to your assumptions about what constitutes well-being.
According to objective measures of physical health, safety, and access to resources.
Objective measures that ignore subjective experiences of dignity, respect, and autonomy.
Those subjective experiences matter, but they can't be the only considerations when making decisions that affect a child's future.
They can't be ignored either. They can't be dismissed as less important than your objective measures.
They're not being dismissed. They're being balanced against other important factors.
Balanced according to your judgment. According to your priorities. According to your assumptions about which factors are most important.
According to professional guidance and evidence-based best practices.
Professional guidance that you seek out and pay for. Evidence-based practices that you interpret and apply.
Are you suggesting that professional guidance and evidence-based practices are unreliable?
I'm suggesting that they can be selectively applied to support predetermined conclusions. I'm suggesting that they can be interpreted in ways that reinforce existing power dynamics.
That's a very cynical view of professional expertise.
It's a realistic view of how expertise can be used to justify controlling behavior. Perhaps we could seek multiple professional opinions to ensure that various perspectives are considered. Multiple professional opinions selected by him, paid for by him, influenced by his financial power and social status?
Professional opinions from qualified experts who are committed to evidence-based practice regardless of financial considerations.
Even qualified experts can be influenced by who controls their compensation and future opportunities.
Professional ethics require that medical decisions be based on patient welfare, not financial considerations.
Professional ethics are ideals that don't always translate perfectly into practice. Real-world power dynamics affect how those ideals are applied.
You're assuming the worst about people's motivations and professional integrity.
I'm being realistic about how power and money influence human behavior. I'm being honest about how financial dependence affects practical autonomy.
Financial dependence doesn't have to result in loss of autonomy if proper safeguards are in place.
Safeguards designed by you, implemented by you, subject to your ongoing approval and control.
Safeguard designed to protect your interests as well as mine and the baby's.
Protected according to your understanding of what my interests are, according to your assumptions about what I should value and prioritize.
Protected according to basic principles of human dignity and self-determination.
Basic principles that you interpret and apply according to your own biases and assumptions.
I'm trying to find solutions that work for everyone. You seem determined to find problems with every suggestion.
I'm not determined to find problems. I'm trying to protect my basic human rights. I'm trying to maintain some control over my own life.
Your basic human rights are not threatened by accepting appropriate support and care.
They're threatened by the conditions and expectations that come with that support and care.
What specific conditions and expectations concern you most?
The condition that I live where you want me to live. The expectation that I'll be grateful for losing my independence. The assumption that you know what's best for me better than I do.
Those are my expectations or assumptions.
Aren't they? Then why are you so insistent that I move into your mansion? Why won't you give me time to explore other options?
Because time spent without proper care is time when problems could develop.
Proper care according to your standards. Problems according to your fears and assumptions.
According to medical standards and evidence-based practices.
The medical standards that you interpret. Evidence-based practices that you apply according to your priorities.
Are you suggesting that I ignore medical recommendations?
I'm suggesting that you let me participate equally in interpreting those recommendations and deciding how to apply them.
How do we do that when you don't have the background knowledge to evaluate medical information effectively?
How do you do that when you don't have the personal knowledge to evaluate what makes me feel respected and supported? Both types of knowledge are important for making good decisions. Exactly. Which is why decisions should be made together, with equal input from both perspectives.
Equal input doesn't always mean equal weight when the areas of expertise are different.
Areas of expertise like knowing what makes me feel valued and empowered. Areas of expertise like understanding my own needs and priorities.
Areas of expertise like understanding complex medical information and evaluating risk factors.
Areas of expertise like understanding how financial dependence affects psychological well-being, like knowing what conditions make me feel safe and supported.
Both areas of expertise are important.
Then, why do you keep privileging your area of expertise over mine?
I'm not privileging my expertise. I'm trying to balance different types of important information.
Balancing according to your judgment. According to your assumptions about which types of information are most important.
According to objective assessments of immediate risks and long-term consequences.
Objective assessments filtered through your subjective values and priorities.
Are you suggesting that we make decisions based purely on subjective preferences without regard to objective consequences?
I'm suggesting that we make decisions based on equal consideration of both objective information and subjective experiences.
Equal consideration that gives appropriate weight to different types of evidence and expertise.
Appropriate weight determined by who? You? Based on your values and assumptions about what matters most?
Based on the principle that the child's welfare comes first.
The child's welfare according to your definition. The child's welfare interpreted through your assumptions about what children need.
The child's welfare according to established child development research and pediatric medical standards.
Research and standards that you interpret and apply. Research and standards that may not account for the importance of maternal autonomy and empowerment.
Research and standards that absolutely account for the importance of maternal well-being.
Maternal well-being according to medical definitions that may not include psychological factors like autonomy and respect.
Modern medical practice absolutely includes psychological factors.
Psychological factors that are often subordinated to physical factors. Psychological factors that can be dismissed as less urgent than immediate medical concerns.
Both physical and psychological factors are important for good outcomes.
Then why aren't my psychological concerns about autonomy and control being given equal weight to your concerns about immediate medical care?
Because immediate medical care has more urgent timelines than psychological concerns about autonomy.
Says who? According to what evidence? Psychological stress about feeling controlled and powerless can have immediate effects on pregnancy outcomes. That's an excellent point that deserves serious consideration.
Which is why we need to establish arrangements that address your psychological concerns while also ensuring appropriate medical care.
Arrangements that you design. Arrangements that meet your standards for appropriate care.
Arrangements that we design together based on both medical recommendations and your personal needs.
Together? When? After I've already agreed to move into your mansion and surrender my independence?
Together, starting now. What arrangements would address both your psychological concerns and your medical needs?
I don't know yet. That's what I need time to figure out. That's what I need space to research and explore without pressure.
How much time and space do you need?
However much time and space it takes for me to feel confident that any arrangements we make respect my autonomy and dignity.
That's not a specific timeline or concrete plan.
Because this is too important to rush. Because the decisions we make now will affect the rest of our lives.
Which is exactly why they need to be made carefully with proper information and expert guidance.
Expert guidance that I participate in selecting. Proper information that I help interpret and apply.
Absolutely. But that process needs to begin immediately, not at some indefinite future time.
Why immediately? What's the specific medical urgency that requires us to finalize living arrangements today?
Establishing consistent prenatal care and reducing stress through stable living conditions.
Stress that you're creating by pressuring me to make immediate decisions. Stability that you're undermining by refusing to give me time to process this situation.
The stress I'm creating is temporary. The stress of financial insecurity and inadequate care would be ongoing.
The stress of feeling controlled and powerless would also be ongoing. The stress of losing my independence would also be ongoing.
Those stresses can be minimized through clear agreements and mutual respect.
Clear agreements negotiated when? Mutual respect demonstrated how? After I've already given up my ability to walk away from arrangements I'm unhappy with?
Clear agreements negotiated now, before any major changes are made.
Negotiated under what conditions? When you hold all the power and I hold none. When you control all the resources and I control nothing.
negotiated under conditions of good faith and shared commitment to finding solutions that work for everyone.
Good faith that starts with respecting my need for time to make informed decisions. Shared commitment that includes acknowledging my equal right to participate in all decisions.
How much time do you need to feel ready to negotiate in good faith?
I don't know. This is all happening so fast. I found out yesterday that I'm pregnant, and today you're asking me to reorganize my entire life. That does seem like a very compressed timeline for such major decisions.
Compressed timelines are sometimes necessary when important decisions need to be made.
Important according to who? Necessary according to what standard? You keep acting like there's some emergency that requires immediate action.
The emergency is ensuring that you and the baby receive proper care starting as soon as possible.
Proper care can be established gradually. Proper care doesn't require me to make every major life decision immediately.
Some aspects of care need to be established quickly to be most effective.
Such as what specifically? What aspects of prenatal care require me to move into your mansion today?
Consistent access to high-quality medical providers, nutritional support, and stress reduction through financial security.
Consistent access that can be arranged without me moving anywhere. Nutritional support that can be provided in various ways. Stress reduction that might actually require slowing down this decision-making process.
Moving into the mansion would provide all of those things immediately and efficiently.
Efficiently for who? For you? For your schedule and preferences? What about efficiency for my emotional well-being?
Your emotional well-being would improve once you're settled in a secure environment.
Would it? Or would it deteriorate as I realize how much control I've given up?
That would depend on how the arrangements are structured and implemented.
Arrangements structured by you, implemented according to your standards and priorities.
Arrangements that we structure together with input from both of us.
When do we structure them together? Before I move in? After? How much actual input do I get if I'm already living in your house under your financial support?
We structure them now, before any major changes are made.
Now?
Right now? In the hallway of my apartment building while I'm feeling overwhelmed and pressured? Perhaps we could continue this conversation in a more comfortable setting. A more comfortable setting like his mansion, where he has all the advantages and I have none.
A comfortable setting where we can discuss options calmly and thoroughly.
Options that you've predetermined? Options that all lead to me accepting your control over my life?
Options that prioritize the welfare of everyone involved while respecting your concerns and preferences.
My concerns and preferences that you've been dismissing throughout this entire conversation.
I haven't been dismissing your concerns. I've been trying to balance them against other important considerations.
Other considerations that somehow always outweigh my concerns. Other considerations that somehow always support your position.
Other considerations based on objective factors like medical recommendations and practical realities.
Practical realities according to your perspective. Medical recommendations that you interpret and apply.
Are you suggesting that medical recommendations are invalid or that practical realities don't matter?
I'm suggesting that both medical recommendations and practical realities can be interpreted in different ways. I'm suggesting that your interpretation isn't the only valid one.
Which is why we need to consult with multiple experts and consider various perspectives.
Experts that you select, perspectives that you approve, consultations that you control.
Experts and perspectives that we select together.
Together when? After I've already moved into your mansion and become financially dependent on you?
Together, starting now, what experts would you like to consult? What perspectives would you like to include?
I don't know yet. That's what I need time to research. That's what I need space to figure out.
You can do that research from the mansion while also ensuring that your immediate needs are met.
Research conducted under your supervision. Research influenced by my gratitude for your generosity. Research affected by my financial dependence on your support.
Research conducted with access to better resources and more expert guidance than you could access on your own.
Resources and guidance that you control, that you can influence through your financial power and social connections.
Resources and guidance committed to professional standards regardless of financial considerations.
Professional standards that can be interpreted and applied in different ways. Professional standards that don't necessarily prioritize the things I value most.
What do you value most that you think professional standards wouldn't prioritize?
My independence, my autonomy, my right to make my own decisions about my own life.
All of which are valued by good professionals and can be protected through appropriate arrangements.
Appropriate according to whose standards? Protected through arrangements designed by whom?
Protected through legal agreements that ensure your rights are respected regardless of our personal relationship.
Legal agreements drafted by lawyers you hire? Legal agreements that I review without independent counsel? Legal agreements that I sign while financially dependent on you?
Legal agreements reviewed by independent counsel that you select.
Independent counsel that I select from a list you provide? Independent counsel whose fees you pay?
Independent counsel of your own choosing, whose fees are paid through arrangements that don't compromise their independence.
What arrangements? How do you pay for my legal representation without compromising their independence?
Through third-party arrangements that ensure the lawyers answer only to you.
Third-party arrangements that you control? That you design and implement?
Third-party arrangements that are designed to protect your interests specifically.
Designed by who? Implemented by who? Supervised by who? These are complex logistical questions that could be resolved through careful planning. Careful planning by him. Careful planning according to his standards and priorities.
Careful planning that involves multiple professionals committed to protecting your interests.
Professionals he selects. Professionals he pays. Professionals who know that their future business depends on his satisfaction.
Professionals who are bound by ethical standards that require them to prioritize your interests regardless of who pays their fees.
Ethical standards that are ideals that don't always translate into practice. Ethical standards that can be interpreted in different ways.
Are you suggesting that all lawyers are corrupt? That all professional ethics are meaningless?
I'm suggesting that real-world power dynamics affect how professional ethics are applied. I'm suggesting that financial influence can shape outcomes even when everyone has good intentions.
Which is why multiple safeguards will be built into any arrangements we make.
Safeguards designed by you. Safeguards that you believe would be effective.
Safeguards designed in consultation with experts whose job is specifically to protect your interests.
Experts whose jobs depend on your satisfaction. Experts who know where their future business comes from.
You're being paranoid about potential problems that may never arise.
I'm being realistic about how power and money work. I'm being honest about how difficult it is to maintain independence when you're financially dependent on someone else.
Financial dependence doesn't have to result in loss of independence if proper structures are in place.
Proper structures according to your definition. Structures that you design and control.
Structures that are specifically designed to prevent control and ensure independence.
How can you design structures to prevent your own control? How can you ensure independence while maintaining financial power over me?
Through legal arrangements that limit my ability to interfere with your decisions.
Legal arrangements that you draft, that you propose, that you have the power to modify or withdraw.
Legal arrangements that would be binding on me as well as you.
Binding according to what enforcement mechanism? Binding through legal systems that respond to wealth and influence.
Binding through legal systems that are designed to protect individual rights regardless of economic status.
Legal systems that work better for people who can afford good lawyers. Legal systems that are influenced by wealth and social status.
Which is why you would have access to the best legal representation available.
Access that you provide. Representation that you pay for.
Access that would be guaranteed regardless of our personal relationship.
Guaranteed by who? Guaranteed through mechanisms that you control?
Guaranteed through independent institutions that exist specifically to protect individual rights.
Independent institutions that are influenced by the same power dynamics that affect everything else in society.
You seem to believe that all institutions are corrupt and that fair treatment is impossible.
I believe that institutional fairness is harder to achieve when there are significant power imbalances. I believe that protecting independence requires more than just good intentions. Both caution and optimism have roles to play in designing protective arrangements. Caution seems more important when someone is asking you to trust them with complete control over your life.
I'm not asking for complete control over your life. I'm asking you to accept support that would improve your situation.
Support that comes with conditions. Support that requires me to live according to your standards and preferences.
Support that comes with reasonable safeguards for everyone involved.
Reasonable according to your judgment. Safeguards that you design and implement.
We seem to be going in circles. What would convince you that accepting support doesn't require surrendering your independence?
I don't know if anything could convince me of that. The nature of financial dependence is that it creates power imbalances.
Power imbalances that can be addressed through careful planning and legal protections.
Legal protections that exist on paper, but may not translate into practical power.
Practical power that you would retain through guaranteed access to resources and independent representation.
Guaranteed access that depends on your continued willingness to honor agreements. Independent representation that relies on your financial support.
Financial support that would be legally required regardless of my personal willingness.
Legal requirements that are enforced through systems that you have more power to navigate than I do.
Which is why you would have expert assistance in navigating those systems.
Expert assistance that you provide, that you control through your financial influence.
You're assuming the worst possible outcomes for every arrangement I suggest.
I'm being realistic about how power dynamics work. I'm being honest about how financial dependence affects practical autonomy.
Financial dependence doesn't have to eliminate practical autonomy if appropriate safeguards are in place.
Appropriate according to your definition. Safeguards that you believe would be effective.
Safeguards that are designed by experts whose job is specifically to protect independence and autonomy.
Experts you hire. Experts who know where their compensation comes from.
Experts who are bound by professional ethics to prioritize your interests.
Professional ethics that can be interpreted in different ways. Professional ethics that don't eliminate the influence of power and money.
Are you suggesting that accepting any kind of support necessarily compromises independence?
I'm suggesting that accepting support from someone who wants control over your life necessarily compromises independence.
I don't want control over your life. I want to ensure that you and the baby are properly cared for.
Properly according to your standards. Cared for in ways that you approve and control.
Cared for according to medical standards and evidence-based practices.
And medical standards that you interpret. Evidence-based practices that you apply according to your priorities.
Standards and practices that exist independently of my personal preferences.
That exist independently but are interpreted and applied through your perspective, through your assumptions about what matters most.
What matters most is ensuring the best possible outcomes for everyone involved.
Best possible outcomes according to your definition, according to your values and priorities.
According to objective measures of health, safety, and well-being.
Objective measures that don't include subjective experiences like dignity, respect, and autonomy.
All of which are important components of well-being that would be protected and respected.
Protected and respected according to your understanding of what protection and respect look like. I think we may have reached an impasse here. Perhaps it would be helpful to take a break and reconvene when everyone has had time to process this conversation. A break sounds good to me. I need time to think about everything that's been said.
How much time do you need?
I don't know. As much time as it takes for me to figure out how to protect my independence, while also doing what's best for the baby.
That could take weeks or months. We need to move forward with concrete plans.
We need to move forward with plans that respect both of our concerns equally.
Which requires compromise from both of us.
A compromise that starts with you acknowledging that my concerns about autonomy are as valid as your concerns about medical care.
I do acknowledge that your concerns are valid.
Then prove it. Give me the time and space I need to make informed decisions without pressure or ultimatums.
I'll give you 1 week. After that, we need to have concrete arrangements in place.
1 week to make decisions that will affect the rest of my life?
1 week to decide whether you're willing to accept reasonable support or whether you prefer to handle this situation entirely on your own.
That's not a fair choice. Those aren't the only two options available.
What other options do you see?
Options that we could explore together if you were willing to be more flexible about timelines and arrangements.
I'm willing to be flexible within reasonable limits.
Reasonable limits that you define based on your priorities and assumptions.
Reasonable limits based on the reality that pregnancy has its own timeline and that proper care is most effective when it begins early.
Proper care that can be established in various ways and doesn't necessarily require immediate major life changes.
We'll see what conclusions you reach after you've had a week to think things through.
A week to think things through under the pressure of your ultimatum.
A week to research your options and make informed decisions about how you want to proceed.
Options that may be limited by your unwillingness to consider arrangements that give me more independence.
We'll discuss whatever arrangements you propose, provided they adequately protect you and the baby.
Adequately according to your standards.
According to reasonable standards of care and safety.
Reasonable according to your judgment.
Reasonable according to professional recommendations and common sense.
Professional recommendations that you select and common sense that reflects your values.
Professional recommendations from qualified experts and common sense based on concern for your welfare.
Concern that expresses itself through control rather than respect for my autonomy.
Concern that expresses itself through wanting to ensure the best possible outcomes for everyone involved.
Best possible outcomes according to your definition.
According to objective measures of health, safety, and opportunity.
Objective measures that don't account for the importance of feeling respected and empowered.
Both objective measures and subjective experiences are important.
Then why do your objective measures always seem to outweigh my subjective experiences?
Because immediate health and safety concerns have to take priority over longer-term autonomy concerns.
Says who? According to what authority?
According to common sense and professional medical guidance.
Common sense that reflects your perspective and professional guidance that you interpret according to your priorities.
We're going in circles again. Use the week to research your options, and we'll reconvene to discuss concrete proposals.
Proposals that have to meet your approval before they can be implemented.
Proposals that have to adequately address the needs of everyone involved.
Everyone's needs according to your understanding of what those needs are.
Everyone's needs according to reasonable standards of care and well-being.
Reasonable according to your judgment.
I'll contact you in 1 week to discuss whatever arrangements you want to propose.
And if my arrangements don't meet your standards of adequacy,
We'll work together to modify them until they address everyone's concerns.
work together with you having veto power over any arrangement that doesn't meet your approval.
Work together to find solutions that ensure appropriate care and support for you and the baby.
Appropriate according to your definition.
Appropriate according to professional standards and reasonable safety considerations.
Professional standards that you interpret and reasonable safety considerations that you define.
1 week, Isabella. Use it wisely.
To research options that have to meet your approval before they can be implemented. I think this conversation has gone as far as it can go today. Isabella, you have a week to consider your options. A week to consider options within parameters that he's established.
A week to consider any options you think would be appropriate.
Appropriate according to standards that you'll apply when you evaluate my proposals.
We'll discuss whatever you want to discuss.
Under the threat of unspecified consequences if you don't approve of my decisions.
Under the hope that we can find arrangements that work for everyone.
Arrangements that meet your standards for what works.
Arrangements that ensure you and the baby receive proper care and support.
Proper according to your judgment.
I'll speak with you in 1 week.
Whether I'm ready or not.
Hopefully you'll be ready to engage constructively in planning for your future and the baby's future.
Our baby's future. And my future that I get to participate in designing.
Absolutely. Your participation is essential.
My participation in implementing decisions that you ultimately control.
Your participation in making decisions that we both can live with.
Decisions that we both can live with according to your definition of what's livable.
1 week, Isabella.
1 week to figure out how to maintain my dignity while accepting your control.
1 week to figure out how to accept appropriate support while maintaining your sense of independence.
Appropriate support that comes with conditions that you define.
I'll contact you next week.
I'll be here, probably still trying to figure out how to be an equal partner in a situation where I have no power. Take care of yourself this week, Isabella, and try to keep an open mind about potential solutions. I'll try to keep an open mind about solutions that respect my autonomy and dignity.
That's all anyone can ask.
Is it?
Because it seems like you're asking for a lot more than that.
I'm asking for arrangements that prioritize the welfare of our child.
Our child whose welfare includes having a mother who feels respected and empowered.
Absolutely.
We'll see if you remember that next week when we discuss my proposals.
I'll remember everything we've discussed today.
Including my need to feel like an equal partner rather than someone who's being managed.
Including everything.
1 week then.
1 week.